welcome back to my channel where we talk about all things Transformers and Transformers action figure related. And today on my channel we're going to be taking a look at the Studio Series 86 Autobot Hot Rod. Yes, slowly but surely, drip, 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 these figures are finally making their way through to me and through to the UK. As we always do on this channel, we'll start off by taking a look at the packaging, and in a sharp contradiction to the New Kingdom figures, this has a very big perspex window on the front so that we can have full visibility on the figure inside. Lovely artwork here of Hot Rod opening the Matrix, very reminiscent obviously of the 86 movie. Every single figure in the Studio 86 line starts with 86 because they came out in 86, and this is 04, which is Autobot Hot Rod, plus 8 Hasbro Transformers Takara Tomy on the top, classic awesome Transformers the movie logo and a perspex window at the top. On the side we have the artwork from the front. Shame didn't go with like a different artwork here, maybe of the alt mode or something, but hey, okay. 86 with a perspex window with 86 written behind it. On the other side, close-up image of the one image that they like to use on this figure. 86 Studio Series, Voyager class and all that biznitch. And then on the back we have the kind of, I guess this was the prototype image, right? Because I think that the visor is now blue. We'll check that out when we do the alt mode, the bot mode here. We also have it transforms in 29 images. Bot mode, alt mode, like the kind of way they've tried to make it look like the Target Master as well. Don't eat your children because they have small parts. And then also, when we open this bad boy up, we have this Dubry Firkin on the inside, which is just a background, and on this one we have the inside of Unicron. Also, this dude comes with a very small actual destructions for this one. I was expecting a bigger sheet. It's a bigger figure, but hey, there's not much going on transformation wise. He's not a triple changer. It's not got anything really bad. The instructions are okay. The transformation is okay. It's very different to some of the other transformations, and that's pretty much it. Everything else is accessories and stuff like that. So now let's take a look at the main event himself, and yeah, it's an interesting Hot Rod. Let's be fair here. Let's take a look at the way that this dude looks. I think overall it looks okay. It looks nice. The spoiler at the back is maybe a little overly large. The paint, the color, the plastics that they've used are very, very nice. I do like this big translucent blue that they have on this. I'm glad that, because my masterpiece, or my KO masterpiece version of Hot Rod, isn't blue here, and that's one of my biggest criticisms of it. I like the engine that sticks out. Maybe could stick out a little further. I like a big engine. I like the fact that the wheels are fully painted here. Shame they didn't do the same on the back. Would have been nice to get some two-tone there. And they're not quite chromed out pipes, but they are still very, very nice pipes. Overall, it's sleek, it's smooth, it's pretty nice. It's wide, which I think is quite good because I do like a wide Hot Rod, but I do feel in the same way as when I did the cup review, it feels small. For some reason in my hand this doesn't feel like it's a mainline Hot Rod. This feels small. I don't know why, I don't know what it is, but this definitely, in the same way that Cup did, these Studio Series so far that I've reviewed apart from Grimlock just feel a little small, and I can't quite put my finger on it why. Because here looks great, I just need a bit more length. It's got the girth, I just need the length. So from an aesthetics point of view, it's okay, it's quite nice. It has a little bit of a gap here that I can't really seem to get rid of, but overall, you know what, it's a okay, nice looking Hot Rod. I will have a look at the accessories for this now, and the accessories are pretty good. So you get two guns with this, and these guns both peg into the front in this mode, so you can peg it in like this one, and then you can peg this one in here on the front, so you can give it that Target Master look. I think that's really nice the way that they've done that. I think it's pretty cool. They haven't put the Target Master in with it, but you can still get that Target Master look. And then if you want to get really stupid, you can take the buzzsaw and you can plug these into the bottom of the buzzsaw. And then when they're in the bottom of the buzzsaw, you can then pop the guns back at the front of Hotrod. And then you can just get stupid with it, right? So it's like Robot Wars. If the guns don't get you, my buzzsaw will. And that's an interesting look. Very interesting. Also, you can move this whole piece here from the front if you don't want them at the front. And again, we can add in the two guns here at the top if that's what we want. A different look here so that we can have those two guns there. I don't know how well, these are quite stiff, all the pegs on this, so I'm not quite sure how well the paint will stay on, but hopefully the paint will stay on and you won't rub it down. I quite like that as well. The guns, and we'll take a quick look at these now. The guns actually are different, which is quite nice. They're not just carbon copies of each other, they're silver. This has a more rounded look on the front and this has a straighter look. So nice that they've given you two very different guns as well here. He also comes with these two little cool accessories here, these little flames that can go just on the back there to make it look like he's going like super speed, super fast. They're pretty nice. So comparisons on this here, yeah, that looks, they look okay together. This looks very, very nice. So this is what I mean by lengthwise. You know, this is probably why I just think it's a little stunted. I prefer the look and the wideness on this one. I definitely prefer the front of this one to the front of this one, and I wish that this was blue. But yeah, it just looks so little stunted compared to this one. Just needed to be a little bit longer. Very, very interesting. Next to the Power of the Primes one, and again, you can see here, and this is what I'm talking about. Yeah, this is god awful. This is a terrible, terrible hot rod. But lengthwise, this has got it. I need this to be this length, definitely. And they definitely haven't pulled that off with the Rodimus. Oh, good God. Comparing the Studio Series together now, and we can bring in his old buddy Cup, and we can see they look absolutely great together. Again, both just look, he is a little bit longer than Cup, but both do look a little bit stunted. You know, they look like they're in a different, just a different size class to everything else, but they look absolutely great together. And then also we can bring in Grimlock as well here and see how they all look together. So my Studio Series collection starting to look pretty damn good together. Transformation time on this dude then. The first thing we're going to do is just go under here and remove this section here, and then these two bits will just fold back in there like that. Once we have those two sections in, we can then bring the arms out. They are just plugged in here at the side, and we can bring them round. Just gets it out of the way then for the rest of the transformation. So you've got him there just like that. While you've got him here like this, just fold this section up, spin it round, and then plug it back in. So these little bits just rotate and come back on themselves to plug back in to his arms there. So you've got them pretty much transformed the way that they need to be. While you've got everything here, just flip it round and then bring the body out so you can separate that and bring the head out here, and then this area here will just spin around, lift it up and spin around. So then when it's here, you need to push this underneath here, clip it in, and then it needs to go in, and it may feel like it's not supposed to, but it will. You just have to push it in, and then it just fits in. There's like a little tab that it has to go into there, and then you can bring the body in, and there we have our top bit transformed. So we can come around the back, loosen this off, and then undo the pegs that have kind of gone onto the side here. So next we'll come around the back, and it's a little bit like the Power of the Primes one here, where we can just pop this back section out and this back section out, spin it around, and we bring it back up. So that just forms the back piece there, and then we can move on to the legs. So with these legs, it's quite an interesting transformation. Separate the legs out and then unclip, and then they kind of unfurl, if you like. They just kind of come out and round like this, and then go in on themselves like that, and then come out and in. So that's kind of the most interesting piece here. Make sure you get the toe out. This is kind of the most interesting piece about the leg transformation. Usually for Hot Rod, even on the MP, it's quite a boring transformation on the legs, but this is quite an interesting one. So it's out, down, out, fold in on itself. So that's quite interesting. And then spin it around, and spin it around, and then we have our fully transformed Hot Rod just before he becomes Rodimus Prime, and this is a pretty nice looking bot mode. I definitely prefer the bot to the alt mode. Let's bring him in for a closer examination. Very nice classic looking Hot Rod here. Nice blue eyes, grey face, lovely different versions of like burgundies and reds used throughout this figure, and oranges and bits of yellow. Nice silver there on the top here. Awesome flame on the top on the false front, so the other front is nicely concealed into the back here. Classic as we go down, the reds, the orange, the yellow knees that we have here, and then this kind of purpley grey type colour around the bottom, the grey on the bottom, very nice on the legs, and the back is very smooth as well. These the arm bits could stick out a little bit more. Articulation wise, we can get a nice 360 here on the head. We can get it up, we can get it down, we can get a full 360 on the arm if we move this out. You can get an up and down, but you have to reconnect this every time that you want to do the full 360 on the arm. We get a full 360 rotation here at the arm, elbow, and then just over 90 degrees on the elbow as well. The hands also articulate and also twist around as well. At the body, we get a full 360 at the waist. The hip skirts will it doesn't have hip skirts, just looks like it does. So this is just one section here. You'll get a full forwards, but you don't get a full back. You can see that it touches, so that's a little bit disappointing really. That back, you go into there, and then you're going for an overextension here, and then Hot Rod, for some reason, it has this, and you can make him look like his leg's a little bit broken there. He gets a double knee joint as well, I guess to make up for any kind of back movement that you want to get here. He will go out to the side, and he'll get some little bits of toe articulation here as well. Can he ninja kick? I don't know if he can. He is. Yay! He can ninja kick! Okay, so this dude has a lot of accessories, and let's start off with the easy ones here, which is the guns. So he has his two guns that we had a look at before. Nice looking guns. Holds them very well in this form. Very, very nice guns. He also has a visor just on the inside that is blue, which is great because obviously the prototypes didn't have him as blue, so he can go up to Lookout Mountain and shoot off things from up there. Next up, the pretty cool thing that we can do now is add the buzzsaw blade to his arm. So to do this, you need to unhook this bit here, and then his hand will spin around and you can put it forward, and he has this on both hands. I'm just choosing this arm, and then he can put his buzzsaw blade on just like that. There we go, so that he can go and attack Sharkticons and save carp and attack octopuses and all those kind of things. Looks really nice, and also spins. And then finally he does come with a matrix of leadership, so we can see here, very nice looking matrix. Unfortunately it doesn't let the light through it, so it is just kind of looks like it should, but solid plastic on the bottom. He can hold the matrix, which is pretty nice. You just have to open his hand. I guess this is the reason that he opens his hand, and then bring it in to his thumbs, close this down, and there he will hold the matrix in his hand. And then you can also add this massive light explosion here at the front, so that he looks like he is opening the matrix as well. Not bad. I like this kind of effect on it as well. Bringing him out on the background now so that you can see him in all his glory on how you could display this figure, and I think he looks pretty nice. I have to say, the arms though are a nightmare when you're trying to pose it. Trying to get him into this pose and hold the matrix, definitely something that I think is a challenge with this figure on posability. Just the way that the arms, there's definitely not enough clearance here to be able to do everything that you might want to do. Time for some comparisons then, and let's bring out first of all the Power of the Primes Hotrod, and we can see here he is a little smaller than Power of the Primes Hotrod, but oh good god, is he so much better. You know, this thing is horrific. It's one of my biggest regrets of buying anything. I really hate this figure with a passion, so very glad that it looks a lot better than this dude. Next to my KO Hotrod, this is where I do believe, I know this is the MPKO, so it should look a little bit better. In parts this looks better, and in parts this looks better. When are we going to get a happy medium between the two? This is what I mean about the rods at the side and how I'd like them to come a little further. You can see that, and also, like, I'm sure that at some point they tapered down, but hey, I might be wrong here, or maybe that's just the back of the car. But yeah, I can see that you know, these bits here, not quite how I'd really want. I do prefer the overall general look of this one. I think this dude looks a little stretched out, the KO one. Yeah, one day we'll get a happy medium, but that's how they look together. So start off with his old buddy, old pal, Cup, and they look pretty nice together. He is slightly taller, but I think that is definitely the look that you want with these two. And then pull him back a little bit so that we can get Grimlock in here as well, and the set is really starting to look great together. So final thoughts on this dude, would I recommend him? It's a tough one. He's actually below the expectations that I had for this figure. Yes, he looks great, don't get me wrong, but these real challenges with his articulation here on the legs. Maybe it's just the way that I pose my figures. I certainly can't get all of the poses that I want. You can see it's very, very flush. It looks like this needed to be able to come down a little bit more, just to be able to give me a little bit more. I really am limited to like this or this. You can't really like swing his arm out. Just his arms are a little bit of a fuss, and these bits on his arms as well. I would have liked to have seen them a little bit bigger. Apart from that, he's not bad. He is not bad, but he's not perfect. These are just my thoughts. Let me know yours down in the comments, and I will see you in my next video. Alright guys, in a bit. Peace!